The careers with the highest demand, highest pay, and opportunities to work at home for people who are blind or visually impaired like me are in digital accessibility. That's why we created the Certified Accessibility Tester Program. That's right, Accessibility Officers, 14-week instructor-led, fully remote, online digital accessibility job training program. It's a VR program where you get trained, you get certified. Guess what? You get a job. So to find out if you qualify, go to accessibilityofficer.com.
It's for one more rep. It's for 30 more seconds. It's for crushing your personal record. To see you go from doubting to dominating. To see you move from fear to fight. For you to realize you are strong, and the only thing holding you back is you. Why do we do what we do at Revision Training? So you can see the champion within. Download Revision Fitness, the audio fitness app, from the App Store or Google Play. Or visit revisionfitnessapp.com to sign up today and start your 14-day free trial for new users.
I'm gonna keep on going. You keep going too. Come on, keep going.
Revision Fitness. Let's change the way we look at it.
For new users of the Revision Fitness app, tell them you heard about it through Eyes Free Sports to get a whole month free trial. Just download Revision Fitness, sign up with a new account, and then click on Contact Us and send them a message mentioning Eyes Free Sports. Howdy, and thanks for tuning into episode 148 of the Eyes Free Sports podcast. My name is Greg Lindberg. On this episode, our guest is a fellow Floridian of mine, and this gentleman recently discovered Goalball, which has since become a huge passion of his. And in addition to Goalball, he's looking to branch out potentially into some other adaptive sports for the blind, and is just super passionate and excited about connecting the blind and visually impaired to adaptive sports in general. So let's go ahead now and hit the Goalball court and get rolling toward episode 148 of the Eyes Free Sports podcast. Okay, so my guest here on this episode is Joe Chite. And Joe is a relatively new, but already very accomplished and I know very talented goalball player and has a really interesting story to share here on the podcast. Joe, welcome to Eyes Free Sports.
I am going to halt production, freak you out right now by just trying to bring everything to a crashing halt and say, will I blow the whistle and say how big of a fan I am? I'm not just a guest, but I am such a big fan of the show. I love that you've been branching out to stuff like video games, the Merlin Bird ID app. It's like eyes free wellness lately. And I am just so tickled to be here. And thank you for having me.
Absolutely, Joe. I really, really appreciate that feedback. And thanks so much for your support. So yeah, like I do with most guests, why don't we just go ahead and dive right into kind of, rewinding the tape, so to speak, back to the, your early years, your formative years.
I am relatively new to the blind game. I went blind later in life, midlife. In 2018 is when it fully happened. But to kind of rewind and start back, so I was born sighted. I didn't have any eye problems growing up. I did wear glasses, but nothing serious. I played all kinds of sports. Sports was a big part of my life. Everything you could think of. I'm pretty tall. I ended up being around 6'7", and I gravitated toward basketball, but particularly in high school, I was really good at shot put and discus. The plan was I was a state qualifier in both, and the plan was to continue that at UCF, but I always tell people I did a little too many shots and not enough shot put at UCF. And that plan ended up with me at FAU. They didn't have a last chance U for track and field at the time. I would have been good there. But
darn, what the heck?
You're telling me. I always tell a story. We went on a recruiting trip to the University of Florida at the same weekend as some football players, and we were discus shot put guys. And I went to a school that didn't have football. There were a lot of guys that the Venn diagram's the same. And anyway, you saw real quick on the totem of who was what, because that weekend the football recruits had their own segways. And they were taken around by individual boosters, whereas we had like gas station sandwiches. It was real quick and apparent, like, oh, okay, there's a hierarchy here. But I was good at shot put and discus. I liked it. I was long. I was pretty strong. And so that was always my thing. If you gave me my druthers, I always thought I was good at baseball, but really basketball was and even basketball, I always make the joke I wasn't as talented as I was tall, but hey, we play to our strengths. You know what I mean? What am I supposed to do? Not use it? But that was always my thing. And when I discovered goalball, I was just beyond tickled because, you know, with a basketball and discus background, I felt like I took real quick to that just motion and throwing. And obviously there's other things, you know, involved with it. But from the offensive standpoint, I was like a fish to water, and I'm still learning, still getting new. I appreciate that you called me accomplished. I call myself very new. But I think that, you know, the more reps is important. And that's where I'm at right now in my development of that. But yeah, I've always been an athlete, always been in the sports my whole life. It's been important to me. I think, you know, hey, another spoiler to blow production, in a little pre-meeting, I mentioned to Greg, I said that if I was thinking about, you know, what sports actually meant to me growing up even, and all the people in my wedding, all the groomsmen that I had were either on a team with me or I met through sports, something like that. And, you know, you're talking about, I got married at 31 years old, and those are lifelong friends. And I think that if I had to really kind of put a pin in it, that would be the way that I look at sports. They've given me my lifelong friends.
Wow. That's amazing. So yeah, just a little bit more about your education, your career, or anything you want to mention there.
I ended up finishing at FAU, hoot hoot, let's go Owls. And after college, I ran a paint store for a while. They don't sponsor you, Greg, so I'm not going to name the company, but they are a Fortune 500 company. They're a large company. And then I did outside sales and chemical coatings for a while. I used some of that knowledge. Eventually, I left the company. I started my own real estate property management company. I was an owner-operator of that for right around a decade. And basically, you know, I live in Florida, and we have a robust snowbird economy down here. And basically what my company did was we could offer full service, you know, concierge caretaking, where we could sell your property, then rent your property to a tenant, and then caretake your property for you while you're away, and then get it ready for you while you're down here or whatnot. I did that, and that was pretty fun, successful. I enjoyed that. I always tell people it gave me the right amount of, I got to wear a suit like 2 times a month, but then I also had to go change toilets, and that humbled me and kept me, you know, it was the perfect dichotomy of balance. And I really did enjoy that job. And I did that up until I got sick in 2018, and the world kind of came to an end for a little bit for me. But I do still have some clients to this day that, God bless them, they told me, Joe, we're not firing you. There's just no chance of that. So it is, I have enough clients still where I stay a little busy, but not enough that it's actually worth much. But it's something I enjoy doing, and it keeps me busy.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you didn't have to fully, you know, leave that career path, it sounds like, which a lot of people do when they do lose their sight.
And that was something that, you know, I went to, and, you know, part of my journey, and I guess we can even discuss how at this point I went blind in 2 stages, really. In 2009, 2010-ish, my left eye, frankly, you know, it's funny, I was thinking about this story earlier. Both times, you know, I say I went blind in stages, both, you know, big incidents that happened involved sports. And the first time I was in just a rec softball league, like an after work softball league, you know, like a beer league. And we're not talking like the guys at Wide World of Sports or the dudes that would have been pro if they didn't get hurt. This is just like a regular league. And I struck out twice one night, and that's something. And so I was doing like the camera 1, camera 2. Remember that from Wayne's World, like one eye. And I noticed everyone does. Okay. I don't think I've ever heard yours, Greg, but I know everyone I love hearing everyone's definition or what they say about what they see. And I want to add to the lexicon, my definition, what I always say is like electric fog. And that's kind of my thing. And so when I was noticing that, and I said, well, that ain't right. And I went to an optometrist. The optometrist, I think it was at like a Sears or something. God bless him. He said, you're going to need a bigger boat. And I went to, you know, Bascom, and I started the process. And they were treating me for low-grade glaucoma, and that's what they thought it was. You know, the left eye ended up going almost entirely blind. I had some light perception, and the right eye was strung like bulls, pretty good. And that stayed until about 2018. You know, I did drops. It had good low pressure. Everything was pretty stable. And then in 2018, I was just driving to work one day, and I noticed that a traffic light had changed, but the light didn't change. You know, I saw it physically move from the top light to like the middle, and I said, huh, funny. And that night I was watching 2018. It was Cavs Warriors, and I was watching the game, the NBA Finals. And it was a good finals. It was, you know what? I spent a lot of time over the next couple of days in the hospital, and thank God for that finals, though. It was a good finals.
It saved you. It saved you. Yeah.
Hey, but
whatever it takes.
I was watching that game, and all the players just like, it looked like they were just white like ghosts. Everyone looked like they were just wearing like sheets, like Halloween ghosts. And I said, all right, it's late. I'm tired and old. I'm going to close my eyes and go to bed. And I woke up the next day and I saw even less, and I knew there was some trouble. And we went down to Bascom again, and that just began my journey of where that was in June of 18, early June of 18. And for, the next like year and a half, I've heard the phrase, I don't know how kosher it is or what people say, but people say chasing vision. And I definitely did that. I went everywhere, and I'm very thankful that my wife did that with me, and Jessica, she is awesome. And we went to Wills in Philly. We went to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. I did not know you have to speak to someone beforehand. I thought they just take you, and they called me, and there's like a panel of distinguished people on the phone asking me questions. And I'm just sitting there going, and that was intimidating, but we had some really smart people look at me. And, the thing that they diagnosed me with initially down south was something called NMO, neuromyelitis optica. I'm probably butchering it, but people always do. NMO. And eventually, essentially that was a death sentence from my understanding and what the doctors had kind of told me. So when I found out, when we were at the Mayo Clinic, we spoke to one of the guys that was on the team that basically discovered or named the disease. And he said, I don't think you have this. He's like, I would be stunned if this is what it is. He goes, you have some symptoms of it, but not others. And when I heard that was just, I don't know what to say. That was, to this day, that is one of the best days of my life, that when they said, this is not going to kill you, it was, let's go. This is, it was just a breath of fresh air. On the way back home, we had my wife's family is from the St. Louis area. And we had stopped, kind of did like a pit stop on the way to Rochester on the way back. And on the way back, my father-in-law, he had said, Joey, I don't know what they told you up there, but man, your attitude sure has changed. And if you knew my father-in-law, by the way, that was a heck of an impression. And he said, and I said, Norman, they told me I was good. Like, I can handle this blind thing. It was the dying thing I was concerned about. I'm like, I got this. Let's go. And when I got back into town, Jess, again, she's just been my right-hand man, the absolute best teammate I could possibly have. She got me into VR up in Daytona, vocational rehab. I was up there from July 19 until the end of the year, like Christmas of 19. And, I thought, it was an interesting time. I was pretty combative the first week or two I was there. It was tough. This had happened to me in my 30s, and I had thoughts, preconceived notions and ideas about, what I was capable of and what people should or shouldn't be telling me to do. And I was wrong about darn near every one of them. And it was just such a great experience going there. And anybody that has the opportunity to go to independent living, vocational rehabilitation, anything, I will talk good about it until I'm blue in the face. It absolutely gave me the skills and the confidence I needed to just get me back. I didn't know if I could do this. I didn't know. I'm sitting here talking about Goalball. We're at a point in my story where I frankly didn't know what I could even do. And I'm up there. They slap a cane in my hand for the first time. I don't know why. Greg, I'm sure you hear 1,000 people say it. And I know I'm not special or profound, but I don't know why I thought falling, tripping. I don't know why that looked better than holding a cane, but I resisted so hard trying to. and once I accepted that, and it was so great, and it was just the mobility came, and it opened so many doors. And to this day, shout out to Steve and Eileen in Daytona. They are both retired now, but I thanked them my last day up there. I said, anything I do moving forward, man, y'all did this. You guys gave me skills. I wouldn't be able to physically get to where I need to go without you. And I just can't thank them enough. But yeah, I was up in Daytona until I guess it was Christmas of 19, and I got home, and it was January 20. And I'm like, yes, we went on a cruise. We went to go visit a friend I guess she was having a wedding leap year in February 20 was a leap year. And that was it. I thought, this is it. This is awesome. Joey, you've done it. This is great. We figured it out. This is a new paradigm. This is a new world. You are going to handle it. You're out on cruises. You're going to Vegas. This is awesome. And then like what happened in like March of 20, like COVID shut everything down. I was on immunosuppressants and I just got cooped up for like a year and a half, and it was a drag. And just, confidence sap, dude. I'm sorry. I know I'm filibustering and just yammering, but I know that when COVID hit, that really did sap a lot, and it really kind of took all the momentum I felt like I had. It just took the legs out of me, man.
Sure, as it did to a lot of folks. Absolutely, yeah. So then how did you kind of pull yourself out of that? Was it, Goalball? Was it adaptive sports? Discovering that at that point, then kind of fast forwarding.
What's funny about that is what's funny about that even to say is that I'd love to just blame it on prolonged hospital stays and, a sedentary lifestyle and depression. Don't get me wrong, that certainly added to it. But the last few years, before I even lost my sight, eating Subway in the car a little bit too much, Little Debbie's, Hostess snacks. I had gained a pretty good amount of weight, and I was shit. Yeah, come on, right? Come on, I shouldn't beat myself up over that, right? Come on, who amongst us? But what happened was honestly is that my wife kind of saw do you guys hear it every time? She's always been such a great supporter for me, but she kind of saw the writing on the wall that as long as I was immunosuppressed, I was going to have to be one of those folks that's going to have to probably be inside for a while, at least until they figured out what's going on a little bit better. And so she bought me a spin bike, a lo-fi spin bike, and just said, hey. And while y'all were watching Joe Exotic and doing tie-dye and sourdough and stuff, I was doing 3-day bike. I fell in love with my spin bike. It was awesome. And I couldn't stop. And then I into enough shape on that bike to like get into shape. When I got off the immunosuppressants, I joined a gym. I have a great gym buddy, shout out to Derek, and we have been going there for a few years now. But I cite the Kenny Powers quote a lot of where, I play sports. I ain't trying to be the best exercise. And I love this gym. To this day, I go to the gym 5 times a week. I fight 2 hours a day. I'm in love with those things. I'm afforded a life where I'm very blessed that I have that time to do those things. But I play sports, man, and I just missed it. And after I was at the gym long enough, I'm like, man, let's put this I could do. Let's see what's going on here. Let's take this thing out for a test drive. And right around that time, it was just serendipitous, Greg. Like right around that time, did we talk about this? I don't know if you and I did, or maybe I just heard it on the show. But Peacock, man, they had descriptive audio for both the Olympics and Paralympics. Did you talk about that? Were you aware of that?
Yeah, I believe so. I think I mentioned it on the podcast. Yep.
I think you. That's what I was trying to beat around. I almost thought that you had said it. I'd be like, Greg, I don't know if you've heard of this thing when I learned it from you. I think, but anyway, I took that was amazing. That was just so amazing. It was awesome. There were times during the Olympics where I felt like I was cheering before my friends as they're watching it. I'm hearing descriptive audio, and they're like, Cole Hawker is rounding the turn, and I'm like, oh, and I'm screaming. It was just amazing, and it gave me an opportunity to kind of watch. I really, and I know the lexicon of watch, look, see. It really gave me, I felt, the opportunity to watch some of these parasports that were just awesome. That were and goalball. Holy smokes. You know what I mean? Like this was the one. That's really where it all kind of came together, where I see these people and I'm going, wait a minute, length is rewarded. Wait a minute, y'all spin and you huck something. I go, wait a minute, wait. I'm doing like, the beautiful mind math meme in my head. And I'm going, there's something here. And that was I guess that would have been summer of 24. And I put out an APB. Greg, here's another pull back the wool. Greg knows that I am so lo-fi. I'm not a super good social media guy. So my version of APB was I was trying to email people. I was trying to find people any way I could. And I put out the APB for, Greg, I sent him semaphore and like smoke signals to try to get a hold of him. But long story short with that is I finally got a hold of Zephyr Victor. Shout out to Zeph. And he was at the time kind of looking to reestablish a goalball team in the South Florida area. They had kind of gone by the wayside. Different members had moved. Hey, things happen. I've been on 30 softball teams as an adult, and it happens. And I said, holy smokes, you have a willing participant. You have my axe. What can I do, Zeph? And Zeph is just awesome. I can't say enough good about him. He steers me in the right direction. He coaches me at goalball. He browbeats me about not trying deep ball. It's hard to get down to Lauderdale. It is fantastic. And he has, a lot of experience with programs from the youth level all the way up to adults. And basically with him, once I said, what can we do? He said, we meet this day, putting a team together. And from that day forward, we've just been slowly growing. And the first practice, I've definitely told this story to my friends, and it was just something that I don't know if it's profound. It is to me, but like the first practice, I clashed heads with a teammate as I was diving for something. And the dude yelled at me for missing a ball, like tanking on the ball. And I was so excited. It felt like home. The guy didn't apologize. The guy didn't go, are you okay? The guy yelled at me. I whiffed on the ball. And that was and I said, I'm amongst my people. These are my people. And it was great. And from that day forward, I've been trying to help out however I can. Zeph runs South Florida Adaptive Sports, which is, he has all sorts of programs we can talk about here in a little bit. We've got some stuff coming up, but really I am just the grunt. I'm the working man. I know how to fill out paperwork, and I'm happy to do stuff. And I'm just so excited. I'm tickled someone will play with me. So I'm happy to do whatever I got to do to keep my friends.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I am curious, just rewinding a little bit, was it the Paralympics, or how did you initially discover and learn about goalball?
Absolutely. I had heard about goalball, but I really didn't have a good idea of it. When I was in Daytona, you heard this story about, we used to have a goalball court up there, and there's this string that they use. And, me living in a sighted world previously and having no experience with this, I'm thinking string, I don't understand. I'm sure I understand at this point that there's going to be something auditory, but I never really understood. I knew that there was something about a basketball court, and it was some kind of handball situation, and that was about the extent of it. And then, yes, the Paralympics in 24, pardon the pun, opened my eyes tremendously of where it was so cool. All the sports, blind soccer is the coolest thing ever. Those guys are amazing, unbelievable what they do. And I'm watching that and I'm just loving it. And then goalball comes on. And I just, these guys are, and I don't know, these guys, the whole team, Mindy Esta, she's like Andres Iniesta in the middle. She's amazing. And then obviously Callahan is a tall dude. So how can you not watch him and go, hey, I see myself there. There was another one, Tyler. It's funny how the community's small enough where when I was getting into shape and I was still stuck inside, I'm looking for fitness apps. And I'm like, yeah, but they're never going to have one that's accessible. And this dude, Tyler, has one. Turns out he's a goalball player. And it's like, man, it's just amazing how it all kind of came full circle on these people. And, I hear them on your podcast, and it all just kind of came together of like, wow. It allowed me to start, like I said, watch the game. And then at that point, the horse had seen the barn. You weren't going to stop me. I was watching stuff on YouTube, getting frustrated, going, we need better announcers, commentate, not just being happy for what I get. I demand better and more. It's quickly entitled. See how quick entitled I get? But I've been on YouTube. It's just been fantastic. I gobble all that stuff up. Waking up at 6 a.m. on Saturdays to turn on South American goalball tournaments, and it's just been great. And I am so excited, but that's really been honestly, I have still yet to participate in a live full tournament, and it looks like November there's a developmental tournament in Austin. I know I'm naming dates, so you probably hate me because I'm not going to keep this podcast evergreen because I'm going to hit dates here. But
you're good. November's far enough in advance for this one, at least.
I will say the year. November, I know there's a tournament in Austin that's specifically for developmental, and I don't think my team is going to be able to get there en masse, but I'm actually available. And I have family in Houston, and we're really working on getting me out there just because I need reps. I need live time, live fire, and it's at this point, it's been great. I love practice. I love the drills. I love scrimmaging. But if I can get a chance to actually get some real, games that matter, games that we're keeping score for real, that's what I need at this point. And then what we're really doing is, as a team, we've been practicing all year round. Now at this point, as you and I record this, it's the beginning of the fall, late summer, and we're eyeballing January. There's a tournament in Arizona, and that's the first one that our team, Crossfire, we're actually anticipating entering. We're taking real shots. We're going to try it, and I'm excited. I don't know what I'm getting involved in exactly, but we bought the jerseys and everything, so we might as well show up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Love the passion, love the energy. I definitely sense in your voice.
It's been great, Greg. I can't say enough good about Goalball, man. And again, hey guys, proof that I'm a fan of the show. I know something that you always ask guys is that how, what do you think about the sport? How has it helped you and whatnot? And just so many ways. I mean, I lost my identity, frankly. And I don't know if that's, again, a cool thing to say. And maybe I should talk to my adjusting to blindness counselor still about that, frankly. But sports has been so entwined in my identity. I was never the smartest, never the prettiest, never the best talking, but I was tall. And I could play basketball and I could throw far. And that was always something that was an easy in my life. If I needed to make a friend, that was always an easy way. Hey, let's go play this. Let's roll this thing. Let's go throw this thing. And it's been like that. And I am just so grateful and just so happy to have Goalball back. And, the way I kind of introduced myself to Greg, guys, again, showing you guys a little bit how the sausage is made, I suppose, is I said, as I'm new to this, I don't see a lot of opportunities for the rec league player, for, the 40-year-old guy. I'm 40. The 40-year-old guy that is out there and is just playing beer league and is just out there trying. There are a lot of opportunities for the youth, and there frankly need to be even more opportunities for the youth. And it seems like, though, if I just want to, the way I describe myself to Greg is that I just played golf on the weekends. I played in, work beer leagues, and I could kickball, whatever it was as an adult, just something to stay in shape and something to play some games and for the camaraderie. And I lost that. And now I have it back, and Goalball has given me that. And forget, what that can do. And, I say forget, but, forget that for a moment. There's tangible things as well. I go to a racquetball court now just to get extra throws in. That's over by my house. I had to sign up for a special transit thing to do that at weird times so I could get over there and practice. And that helps me with O&M. That helps me with my confidence. The fact that, in my life, I don't know about yours, but in my life, when I do proof of concept, when I show that I can do something one time, it makes it easier to do it the next time, and then the next time, and then I can lean on that and do it the next time. And just doing small stuff like going to the racquetball court by myself, that is awesome. Okay. I don't trivialize that. There was a time in my life where I didn't see that even as a possibility. And now I'm sitting here mad when they don't pick me up at the right time. And I absolutely love that. And I can use that to piggyback that momentum and keep me going. And I think that is just, it's helped me on so many levels, man. And again, the team that I have now, what do I get out of Goalball? Forget even the physical part of it. I always say to everybody, I want to, look the way I feel, and I feel great. There was a time I didn't feel great, but I feel great. And I want to look that way. I want to be physically fit. Don't feel sorry for Joe. Don't feel bad for Joe. Joe is awesome. Joe is doing great. And I want to make sure that I say that with my chest. I lead out. I'm a tall man. I like to stand up, out, got good posture. And that's important to me. I don't care how corny it sounds to someone else. It's genuinely important to me. And, if Goalball can help me with that, I think it can help you. I think it can show people what they're capable of, either again or for the first time. And if you don't think you are capable, please, if you're down here in Florida, or if you have a friend in Florida, let them know, and we'd be happy to show them. I'd be happy to show them. Let's see what you can do. And maybe it's not for you, but let's try it and see what's up. Because the benefits just are so great. I mean, genuinely, just so great. Even if Goalball is not for you, I just think in general, getting out there and trying something and being part of the community, being part of a team, it's holistic, man. It helps everywhere.
Absolutely. So well said. And like you said, just about like using your O&M skills, to get to like the racquetball court or to practice or whatever the case may be. There's so much more, involved in, obviously sports is what we talk about on the podcast, but just the whole process of getting to a location, to participating, to the camaraderie, like you're saying, there's so many benefits to using those skills and staying sharp,
Absolutely. And I think it's so important, purpose. You got to have a purpose. I don't care, sighted, not sighted. I don't care. Purpose is so And you know what? You've got practice now, 2 Fridays of the month, and that's important. You know what I mean? You've got weightlifting that we're going to ask you to do. Depending on how serious you want to get, we got things that we can do. You know what I mean? And we can, and that's awesome. We can lean on each other and we can do it together. And it's just, it's everything's easier, I find, in life when you have a team around you. And that's what we offer, is that, more on the macro, like 30,000 foot level, Zeph's plans are more grandiose than mine, and that's fantastic. I am a cog in his wheel. He runs programs and he has opportunities for things. I want to briefly mention something that we have coming up here in a second. But from my standpoint, my personal passion project is just making sure that if someone wants to try something, I don't care what your level is. I don't care what your experience is. I don't care if you think you can do it. I presume competence, and I'll show you what the sport is. Let's try it together. Who am I? I don't know anything, man. Let's try it together and let's see, because I'm willing to try everything. Everything has been cool. Not everything's taken. I've played a bunch of golf, and I enjoy the golf. I do. I played sighted golf, and I loved it. And golf's been fun. It just hasn't been the experience for me that goalball has been. But I still enjoy it. It just hasn't been the thing that goalball was. Maybe golf will be the thing for you. Find that thing and try it. And that's what I guess that's really the reason I even want to be here today, is just on the show, is just to encourage people that try it. I started out a fat guy on the bike, not sure what I was going to do, what my life looked like as a blind guy. And now I'm out here tickled pink on Greg Lindbergh's show talking about goalball. So living the dream, top of the world, Ma.
Absolutely. Yep.
Oh, I was trying to embarrass you, Greg.
It didn't work. Good try. Good attempt. A for effort.
Oh, man.
But yeah, definitely tell me just a little bit more about the group that you have there as far as the team. I know you've mentioned you've got, some guys, some gals, kind of a variety of folks playing, right? We
do. And, my cog in this wheel is the goalball side of it. And so right now we have 2 teams. We have a men's team with 5 core members, but we do have people coming in and out, and we always encourage people. One of our members lives in North Carolina, so we are always wanting people, bodies, things come up. Obviously, we all know how easy transportation is for the blind. So we always like to have backups and thoughts, and hey, come out. Even if you just want to come out and practice. But essentially we have a men's team and we have a women's team. The women's team is in the process of naming. I just left a WhatsApp chat just before I got on this call where there was a ferocious debate about what they were going to be called. But the women's team, they have somewhere. I get to stay out of that one. All I do is take the paperwork, so that's fantastic.
Just sit on the sidelines, and in that case, it's good to sit on the sidelines. Yeah.
Yep, I'm just nudging Zeph, going, man. Right. But we have a great crew of women as well, and they are, I believe at last count, we have 6 women. And again, the rotation, it changes. The core group comes in and out. Not everyone can make it always all the time. That's why it's awesome to have backups. But we meet, our practices are mostly at the Lake Worth Therapeutic Recreation Center, Lake Worth, Palm Beach County, Florida. And it is great. What a facility. They've been nothing but fantastic to us. And in speaking with that, they are hosting October 18th of this year, they are hosting a blind sports day. And they are going to be having all sorts of instructors showing off different adaptive blind sports. TBD, please keep an eye out on our social media if you could. I know I said I'm terrible at social media, but Zeph is much better at it and the team is better. You can follow us on TikTok at SF Adaptive Sports, SF as in South Florida Adaptive Sports. Sorry, San Francisco, if you were looking for that, it is gone. The Facebook is South Florida Adaptive Sports. And please send us a message. Please follow us. Keep an eye out for video. Smash that like and subscribe. It would absolutely mean the world if we could get out all the world. It would mean all the world to us to get out more of a message. But yes, on those pages, we will have more information about the Blind Sports Day at the Lake Worth Therapeutic Recreation Center on October 18th. There will be multiple instructors. I don't want to say anything right now that's going to, if I promise something beforehand, just keep an eye out on the social media page. I promise we'll be updating it. Something we're definitely taking serious and we're excited about. All ages are welcome. Again, if you think you are up to it, come out, try it. And if you're not up to it, hang out, make a new friend. The aforementioned gym buddy that I have, Derek, I annoy him almost every day where I tell him making a new friend is just as important as making muscle today. And I will say the same thing. So if you come out and the sport isn't for you, please introduce yourself. Say hi. I'd love to meet you. But yes, we have that coming up on October 18th at the Lake Worth Therapeutic Recreation Center. A couple other neat things that we have coming up. I have a call later this week, and I don't mind talking about it, but I can't oversell it. I don't know what it is yet, but with I don't know if you've heard, Greg, but your 2-time back-to-back defending Stanley Cup champions are from our neck of the woods down here. And we have a call with their community outreach on Friday just to kind of touch base and play footsie and see what's up. But I don't know about you, man, but I hate to get ahead of myself, but I know you always talk about what is an adaptive sport you've yet to try that you'd like to. Dude, blind hockey. Can you imagine? Now, I don't skate, or do you roller skate, or do you ice skate? Do you do either of those?
I have roller skating. Yeah, no ice skating experience.
I like that I have roller skated. You're not confident enough to be like, I do roller skate.
It's been a while. It's been many moons ago.
That's better than me, dude. I have no experience with this. So I had like a 16 size shoe. So I was never like going to be able to rent some sneaks. Yeah, I wasn't going to be able to just pop something off at the roller, or, you know what I mean, at the rink. So I have no experience, but I'm just thinking to myself, how cool would it be, blind guy cruising up and down, if I can figure out, and I know they give you like those walker things that help you kind of like get your bearings down a little bit. So I don't know. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but blind hockey sounds like the coolest thing on the planet, just cruising on those things. So I don't know. But point is, to kind of circle back, is that we are doing all sorts of stuff right now. We're interested in doing programs. Zeph has all sorts of things. Keep an eye on our pages. Again, at South Florida Adaptive Sports on Facebook, SF Adaptive Sports on TikTok. He has all sorts of things that he can announce about programs and things that are coming up. But for me, we will have a practice schedule up there for Goalball. Please keep your eyes peeled on that. If anyone wants to reach me directly, I have no qualms giving Greg's audience my personal email. It's cjchite. My name, CJCHITE @gmail.com, CJCHITE @gmail.com. Please get a hold of me directly. I'll be happy to talk to you about pretty much anything. In case you've gotten this far in the podcast, you've noticed that I have no qualms talking about things as a general rule. So please get a hold of us. Leave us a message on our social media. Reach out to us. We'd love to have you. We'd love your support. Even if you just like and share our page, but come out and take a look at what we have going on, what we offer, what we do. And from a goalball standpoint, I would love to show you the game. I'd love for you to teach me a tip or two. If there's somebody out here in Florida doing something like this already, or someone around here, please reach out to us. We'd love to schedule a scrimmage, a dual practice. We'd love to meet you. I'd love to pick your brain. I have so many questions. I'm tickled. I said to Zeph, when I finally found him, I said, dude, how many like darn near 7-foot dudes that can dunk are just like falling into your lap? This should be like a slam. This should be a dunk for you, dude. And it has been, it's been great. And we've got a fun ragtag crew right now of some crafty veterans. We've got myself. We've got another skyscraper, a guy that's over 6 feet tall. That's fantastic. Super neophyte, super new like me. But, what they always say, Greg, you can't teach length. And that's what we've got going for us right now. At the very least, if my dad used to say, Joe, when you're dumb, you got to be tough. So we're tall and we're tough. So that's the one thing that matters right now.
Well said. You couldn't have said it better myself. Awesome. And hey, that's really cool news about the Florida Panthers, that they're kind of kicking the tires, it sounds like, on blind hockey. I know the Tampa Bay Lightning, I don't know if I had told you, I did meet with them earlier this year here in 2025. So there's definitely a lot of interest there in starting blind hockey. But yeah, just really love your passion, Joe, your energy, your enthusiasm. I feel like you're just the perfect guy to kind of help spearhead some of these initiatives, make the connections. It's amazing to hear.
Man, if you complain, you have to be willing to do something about it. And I didn't see the opportunities, and I am at a point now where I can do something about it. So let's do something about it. And like I say, again, I'm here to learn. I am the new guy in the room. I've learned from experience that sometimes the new guy can be the loudest and the least informed voice in the room. Please, I am just enthusiastic, and I'm happy to listen, and I'm happy to learn. So again, if anyone out there within earshot is thinking that you could help us, or you know someone that could steer us in the right direction, anything you're thinking right now, we're more than willing. Again, that's SF Adaptive Sports on TikTok, South Florida Adaptive Sports on Facebook, and then my email is cjchite@gmail.com. I look forward to making a new friend today, so please, somebody holler at me.
Awesome. And as usual, I'll include links to the social media handles, as well as your email address in the show notes for everyone as well.
Did please someone holler at me? That came off desperate. I feel like I didn't stick the landing on that one.
It's coming.
Thank you so much, Greg, for the opportunity, man. I really appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Absolutely. Again, we've been talking to Joe Chite here on Eyes Free Sports, and Joe, really, really appreciate the time. Just thanks so much for your listenership and for reaching out and just for everything you're doing down there in South Florida.
Hey, man, thanks again for everything you do. Genuinely, the show is fantastic. I love what you're branching out with. And I know you're in the Orlando area, man. So anything that we can do down here, if my peanut butter can get into your chocolate and your chocolate can get into my peanut butter, I think we should be able to figure something out, man. So I look forward to it.
Absolutely. Sounds great. Alrighty, man. Thanks so much again.
Thanks, Greg.
To hear more episodes of the Eyes Free Sports podcast and to subscribe, search for Eyes Free Sports on your favorite podcast platform or visit eyesfreesports.com. Be sure to follow the Eyes Free Sports podcast at facebook.com/eyesfreesports and on Twitter @eyesfreesports.